And welcome back, everyone. It is week 11 of the Lyst podcast. Can't believe we've already made it this far. Cam and Clark, Jackson Trotter. Super fun episode today. Incredibly special guest. Incredibly special guest. I don't know. Stay tuned. You'll want to see it. Jackson, we've got some pretty cool things on the table, though, for today's set.
I know, 11 episodes. That's pretty crazy. That's almost a whole football season.
That's true.
But going to the table, if you hadn't guessed it, AJ is a big theme today. But I want to give a shout out to my roommate and good friend, William Coltrane. I call him William James. That's not his real name, but he's a close friend of mine. I think it was the Dayton game when BYU played at Disney World, he and his family made a big poster that said AJ Dybantsa on it. And then they made these shirts with AJ with Sully from Monster Inc.'s arms. And AJ loved it. I think that they actually gave the poster to AJ.
That's crazy.
He signed the shirts and they all got jerseys and he signed the jerseys for them because it was just such a cool thing. So shout out to William and the Coltrane family as today we're talking about AJ.
Yeah, super fun. You know, it's Jimmer Fredette's own kid's favorite basketball player. They put out a video a couple weeks ago, maybe a month ago. We'll play it on screen for you here right now.
Hey, Taffy. Who do you think the best BYU basketball player is?
AJ Dybantsa.
Who?
AJ Dybantsa.
I'm right here.
Yeah, so it was back in March, but I don't know. Hilarious video. Shout out Taft. Jimmer's reaction was great. We actually have Jimmer Fredette on the episode today, so don't think I thought we were doing a Jimmer topic. Jimmer's our special guest today. We're super excited. We're going to have him on here in a little bit. But I think it's time. Let's get it on our list. Let's hit the music video.
I got it on my list. It don't matter what I do. It's just plain to see the remedy. Really don't exist. Ain't no getting over you. Yeah.
Okay, welcome back from that amazing music video. I have to say, I hope that it's running through your heads because it's running through ours right now. So that song is super, super catchy. But starting off with my top 5 AJ Dybantsa moments at BYU or performances, however you want to word it. We're just going overall game performances. This is my list. So coming in my honorable mention, I'm going to go Abilene Christian.
Ooh, okay.
His performance against Abilene Christian, he had an amazing dunk. My favorite play of the whole season from AJ was against Abilene Christian. Honorable mention. Number 5, AJ's performance against UConn. One of the best games of the whole season. I watched part of it in LaVell Edwards Stadium. Great game. AJ also really balled out. Number 4, the heartbreaker. AJ playing against Texas in the NCAA tournament. Had a great game. Carried and kept BYU in the game. Coming in at my number 3, the second game versus Utah. AJ dropped 43 points, broke and set the BYU freshman single-game scoring record. Number 2, AJ's 33-point triple-double against Eastern Washington. Amazing performance, and it had to be number 2 on the list. And then coming in at number 1, the moment you've all been waiting for. AJ's performance, 40-point game against Kansas State in the Big 12 tournament. This is my list, my top 5. Cam, what's yours?
Whoa, I did not think you were going there. Our list was practically the same until you went to Kansas State. I thought about putting Kansas State in, but I'll show you my. Okay, honorable mention, number 1, AJ versus Utah, the football version. They played Nebraska earlier in the day. The team flew out, caught the second half of the football game, sit in front row with the whole team.
So I actually sat behind him at that game.
Did you really?
I was a couple of rows behind him, and I remember all these girls were sitting around me, and they're like, we should go sit next to AJ. We should go. I wonder if I could get AJ's number. Like, oh, okay, girls. Okay, but sorry.
We have his autograph, though, so take that. But, yes, that's my honorable mention. Played against Nebraska earlier in the day, a team that went to the Sweet 16, 30 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists in that game, so not too shabby in an exhibition game. But coming to number 5, I went AJ versus Texas. I was debating Kansas State here, but Texas, 35 points, most points. Our first freshman to achieve 30 points in a round of 64 games since Steph Curry. Number 4, AJ versus UConn. He had 25 in that game. 21 of them was in the second half. Willed BYU back to almost beat the number 3 team in the country at that moment. Coming in number 3, also had AJ versus Utah the second time, 43 points, set BYU freshman scoring record, 15 of 24 from the field and 4 for 5 from 3. wild. His best shooting game by far. Number 2, AJ in Eastern Washington, the 33-point triple-double, 33, 10, and 10. Incredible performance. I just remember watching that game thinking, holy cow, this is the second coming of Kyle Collinsworth. Not really. But coming in at number 1, I went AJ versus Iowa State. Kevin Young called it AJ's most complete game. 29 points, 10 rebounds, 9 assists, nearly a triple-double. That's my list. And I think I have the best list. Stay tuned for checking it twice. But I think it's time to welcome our special guest, Jimmer. We're excited to hear from you.
What is up, Cam and Jackson? Here are my top 5 AJ Dybantsa games, okay? Coming in at number 5, we are going with a 28-point game versus Clemson at MSG, okay? Big stage in a 22-point comeback win. That is absolutely insane, a 22-point comeback win. We just saw the Knicks do it. 29 points. They came back from 22. AJ was a huge part of that. Obviously, that is a great basketball game there. That's number 5. Number 4, we're coming in at Iowa State, okay? Post Richie Saunders injury. Obviously, that was such an emotional game during Colorado. They came back, played against Iowa State. BYU had been struggling. We all knew that was the case. And AJ came up huge. 29-point game against Iowa State, got the win at home. Really elevated us to where we needed to get to for the Big 12 tournament and beyond. That was a huge game. Number 3, we're going with the triple-double against Eastern Washington. I don't care if it's against Eastern Washington or not. Anytime you get a triple-double, that is amazing stuff. You had 33 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists. That is extremely hard to do. I did not do that, so I have to give him, obviously, a shout-out for that, for the triple-double. Coming in at number 2, a 40-point game against K-State in the Big 12 tournament. That is a Big 12 freshman record for points in a game. I mean, that's enough said there. Huge win, obviously, against K-State. Help us, elevate us into that tournament to make play against Houston and have a good run in that tournament. But 40-point game, anytime you score 40, it's a great game. And that leads me to my number 1, which, of course, is the 43-point game against Utah. 43 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 62.5% shooting from the field in that game. Did not miss very many shots during that game. Absolutely incredible stuff. And anytime it's against Utah, it's elevated. I know a little something about that, scoring 40 points against Utah. So those are my top 5 AJ Dybantsa games.
Well done, Jimmer. That was a dang near perfect list. I feel like
Pretty similar to mine.
It was pretty similar to yours. I am gonna be in some hot water for not including Kansas State. I'll explain my reasonings here in a little bit, but checking it twice. First off, how cool is it that we got Jimmer for this? Shout out to Hema Heimuli, producer of the
From the Logo
Thank
podcast. Yeah, it's the podcast that Jimmer and Spencer Linton have together. Hema Heimuli produces it and suggested to us that we have Jimmer on. So go watch From the Logo and continue watching List It. Thanks, Jimmer, for being on. It's a treat to have you with us.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to think, like 10 years ago, we were little kids watching Jimmer, I guess 15 years ago, ball up, hitting from half court against Utah. I was at that game. But enough about that. Jimmer's a colleague now, and his top 5, pretty darn good. 5 at Clemson, 4 versus Iowa State, 3 Eastern Washington triple-double, 2 the 40-point game versus K-State, and 1 43 against Utah. I love the little jab you put in there at the end. Like, I know what it's like scoring 40 against Utah. I felt like that was the perfect way to end it.
Yeah, AJ's performance against Utah was the best BYU player performance against Utah, I'd say in football or basketball, since Jimmer versus Utah. Like his domination of Utah. You would think that the kid grew up in Utah, and he grew up hating Utah. The way that he played, the way he threw the ball down when he dunked, like Jimmer dominated Utah. It had to be on the list.
Yeah, I like it. That was one that I felt like we had pretty similar, right? We were both at number 3 for that one. But the inclusion of Clemson on Jimmer's list, I think, is interesting.
That was an interesting.
He didn't have UConn, but I like it. UConn was a loss. Clemson, he kind of willed the comeback in the Garden, right? You mentioned the Knicks just winning the finals there. So that one was tough for me to leave off. I'd probably put it at like number 7 on my list if I were to go 1 through 7.
I think that Rob Wright overshadows him a little bit in this game because Rob Wright had the buzzer beater. AJ obviously was the first look on that inbound pass, but then Rob Wright is the one that sunk the buzzer beater, so he gets all the credit for that. But I'd say the Clemson game was the best win of the season. Or the high point of the season. I think that's when I was the most hopeful about this BYU team was after the Clemson game. And AJ did will them back from down 22, 28 points. Didn't AJ outscore Clemson's entire team in the second half?
I think so. I'm not certain, but
I think that it was outscore points plus assists. He had more than Clemson's entire team in the second half. So AJ led the charge in the comeback, dominated. I think that it's an error by both of us to leave that off of our list. And Jimmer pulled up from deep for that.
That's true. Pull up from the logo, you could say. But yeah, so Iowa State, that was my number one. He put him at 4. I don't know. Kevin Young called that AJ's most complete game, so that's why I went number 1. I remember just watching AJ in that game, thinking there was not one part of the game where he didn't dominate. Perfect from the free throw line. Let me pull up the stats from that game. I had it pulled up. He went 10 for 17. Okay, so we missed 2 free throws, but we've got ghosts in the ceiling. The ghost of AJ Dybantsa saying, hey, get your facts right. So we missed 2 free throws during that game, but nearly a triple-double in that one. Like, you left that one off your list, right?
In the Iowa State game?
Yeah.
Yeah, I left it off my list because he only had 29 points, which points matter to me. Scoring matters, especially for AJ. Like, AJ, his domination is scoring. That's what he did at BYU. And so all of the games that I included are the games that I feel like he was able to score a lot of points in. Now, Cameron, if we're talking about games we left off our lists, let's talk Kansas State in the Big 12 tournament. Why'd you leave it off the list?
I don't think Kansas State is that great of competition.
Okay.
I don't think that. Dang, ghosts are really like getting on me today. I don't think that. It was like 40 points in a college basketball game, especially on that glass floor. Incredible. Probably looking back, that'll be the hottest take that I didn't have that one on my list. But I don't know. I didn't measure like the scoring as much with as much weight as some of the other things. And so I think having AJ, the 40 points was great, but it almost just looked easy for him.
Yeah, and I think that goes to show how good of a game he was having. And I will admit, like, the competition wasn't the best, but just listen to these stats. 40 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists, and then a season-high 71% from the field.
Yeah.
Like, this, shooting-wise, it was AJ's best game. Better than even some pre-conference play games where BYU's playing like Abilene Christian or Holy Cross. Like 70% from the field, 71% from the field was AJ's best on the season. And so I had to, when I saw that, I was like, okay, it's got to be in my top 3, and I have it in at my number 1.
Yeah.
And it was high stakes. If BYU wanted to jumpstart their season and make a run in this NCAA tournament, it had to happen. It had to start versus Kansas State.
Well, see, I don't know. Kansas State, they won 3 games in the Big 12 this year, right? They barely were 1 spot ahead of Utah.
They were terrible.
Like, I put it in that same category. Like, if AJ had scored 40 against Pacific, like, that's probably where this is. Now, that was the one I debated switching out Texas for. But I decided to go with Texas because there was history behind it. And I mean, Jimmer mentioned, right, most points by a freshman in a Big 12 tournament game. But I decided to go with the NCAA tournament more. I just think Texas is better competition. The rest of the team forgot to show up. And there's the name of the Texas center that I know I'm going to butcher, so I'm not going to pronounce it right. Vegikitis or something like that. I don't know that. I know it was a loss. Both my number 5 and my number 4 were losses, but I just think AJ performed better in those 2 games all around than he did in that Kansas State game.
Yeah, and
against better competition.
I think his stats were better in the Kansas State game. I mean, obviously, statistically, it was one of his best games.
And I can agree with you on that.
And so, and like I said, and I when making my list, I was looking at weight of competition, which Kansas State, obviously, not great competition.
Yeah.
But then his stats, and then my own, like, vibe towards the game. And I remember watching the Kansas State game and I thought, okay, maybe this team can put it together and AJ can lead the charge for a run in the NCAA tournament. And it didn't happen.
Yeah.
But my feeling immediately after that game was very optimistic and hopeful, and probably more optimistic than after the Clemson game. I was excited because I thought, okay, maybe we can put something together. And so it had to be AJ's best performance to me. I've said this a lot on this show. I had the best taste in my mouth after AJ's performance in the Kansas State game.
Yeah, see, I didn't think a whole lot because I don't know. I'm not the biggest. Well, neither of us are the biggest basketball guys, but I didn't watch a lot of the games this year. I either had a class or occasionally I was taking a nap and then woke up late and only caught the second half of the game. But I have a hard time, putting it ahead of some of my other moments, right? With like AJ in Texas, like I said, the only one maybe, but the second half charge that AJ led against a team that was in the national championship game against UConn, I think that tops that. AJ versus Utah 43, that's obviously going to top a 40-point game.
True.
AJ versus Eastern Washington's a triple-double, right? So that's going to top that. And then AJ versus Iowa State, he was one assist away from a triple-double in that game against the best team that BYU beat all year.
Yeah, and that's a good point. But I think that AJ dominated Kansas State. AJ also dominated Iowa State, but more so against Kansas State. It was more of a dominant performance, and part of that is because it was an inferior opponent. But I was more impressed with AJ against Kansas State. It could be a bad take. Like you guys will let me know in the comments. But I was more impressed with AJ versus Kansas.
And I'll say this, I lean heavily towards it was probably an error on my part not to include that, but I'm going to stand behind it. I think it's not one of those takes where it's like, oh, I just forgot about it. I think there's enough ground to stand on. I'm going to get flamed for it, but I'm willing to stand on that ground and take the arrows. But, I mean, everyone had Eastern Washington on the list in the Utah game, right? Those games were nuts. Like watching some of those highlights again as I've been prepping for a BYU Sports Nation show that I'm helping produce, he just dominated. He was Dybantsa.
Yeah. He went into another level. He became something greater. He was the closest to Jimmer that BYU's gotten.
Yeah.
In a single person, right? In those two games. And so I do think Eastern Washington and Utah, I think you and I could agree, are two of his top three.
Yes.
Games, right? And that's we both have them in our top three. Jimmer has them in his top three. So really phenomenal performance. We can agree to disagree on Kansas State and Iowa State, but I do think when it comes down to our A list, I think that we should give it to Jimmer.
I think so too. He was the only one to include both of our number ones. We left each other's number ones off. Other than that, our list was exactly the same if you switch UConn and Texas. So great job by Jimmer to include both the number ones. We failed on that part. So hottest take, me leaving off Kansas State probably, or it's you leaving off Iowa State. But Jimmer had it at number one, so I'll take the hottest take on that. A-list goes to Jimmer, what is our listed number one overall, don't worry, this is my ring finger, number one overall performance?
It's a toss-up between Eastern Washington and Utah. I think the 33-point triple-double is a big deal, but I'm going to give it to Utah.
I think that's what I was leaning to as well.
I hate Utah. 43 points versus Utah. Put them in the ground. Quoting Will Caltrin, there's more rats at the Huntsman Center than fans. Ooh. Give it to Utah. AJ's best game was against Utah. 43 points.
January 24th. I like it. Just, and like, I don't know, that high five he gave us, he like hit the three and then high fived the fan as he was walking away.
Oh, yeah. Amen.
And like, is that the game where he had the water, he like spilled it all over himself and like looked back at the Fox camera?
I can't remember.
That may have been the Colorado game.
But talk about good vibes in the Marriott Center as well. Like that was, I wasn't able to go to that game because of annoying things, but I remember watching and I could feel from my couch how important that was. Yeah. And it was Utah. Like, talk about inferior opponents. How many games did Utah win in the Big 12? I don't even know. Like, terrible. But it's Utah. And Utah claimed forever that they were the basketball team, and AJ went out and mogged them. So shout out AJ, and shout out Jimmer for having that as his number one.
Yeah.
It is our official List It number one game.
Well done, Jimmer. We're super appreciative of you for joining us on the podcast. We hope to collaborate soon more on some other stuff. Maybe we'll get a top 5 Jimmer moments. We'll have to hear from maybe his son. We'll go his son's second favorite basketball player in those top moments.
It's actually Tyler Haws.
Oh, that's my bad. Sorry. Third favorite. Good times. But again, thank you guys all for watching. But it's time to rank things blindly. I'm gonna take off my glasses. I remember looking really weird. I'm like, that's what I look like with glasses. So I'm gonna stop scaring everyone and put these back on.
I think you look good, Cam.
Okay.
I
Should I
think you
go
look
contacts?
good. Yeah.
The first time I tried contacts, I fainted. So we'll get that story in the intro topic in the next episode.
First you don't succeed. Try.
I got a free box of Red Vine.
Do you want to try mine?
Yeah. Here, let me.
I could.
Oh, yeah. All right, Owen, what do you got for us today?
All right, blind rankings. This is a fun one. Starting off with our guest today, our very special guest, Jimmer Fredette.
Ooh. I think we're ranking our top 5 guests that we've had on the Listed podcast.
In most things regarding BYU, Jimmer is number one.
I agree.
So I'm going to put Jimmer at number one.
I just think, he was on today. He probably watched the episode, so I think it's probably fitting that I should put him at number 1. So I'll put him at number 1.
I said to my dad last night, I said Jimmer is probably, except for Ty Detmer and Jim McMahon, the best athlete at BYU. Or not athlete, but best player on any team. Most popular, most famous while they were at BYU for what they did at BYU. Jimmer's the guy.
Yeah.
All right, up next, our topic today, AJ Dybantsa.
AJ. Okay, I'm going to go AJ at number 2.
I'll put him at number 3. Actually, that's a dumb take. I'm going to put him at number 2 and I'm going to the top for that.
For the first time ever, our blind ranking is going to be the same.
All right, let's see if it stays the same. Ty Detmer.
Oh, boy.
Ooh.
Okay, I think I know where we're going. I'm going to put him at number 3.
I want to put him at 4 just to be different. I wish I could slot Detmer at 2 because I almost want AJ
I
at
know.
3.
I think I know where this is going, and yeah.
All right, Carter Cutting.
Ooh. We know me. I leave off the track and field guys, so he's going at number 5 for me.
I'm going to put him at number 5, too.
Go back and watch that's the seniors episode, our number 2 episode. Go back and watch that if you don't understand what I'm talking about. We love you, Carter.
Lastly, Jamal Williams.
Oh, boy. I love Jamal.
I got a story about him too. We'll save that for next time as well. But
Okay, so I'm Jimmer, AJ, Ty, Jamal, Carter. I think we're going top 5 male athletes at BYU. Is that all time, or what are we doing?
I have no idea what this list is. Because I was thinking it could be awards, but like Jamal didn't win any awards. Record holders, maybe?
There you go.
Oh, BYU
Top
record
5
holders.
BYU individual records. So I'll go over real quick, list out their records.
Okay.
So Jimmer Fredette, all-time scoring record for BYU men's basketball, 1,068 points.
Nuts.
Insane. Jamal Williams, 3,901 rushing yards. Let's see if LJ can beat that this year. That would be insane.
He will.
Ty Detmer, 15,031 passing yards.
Can I say that doesn't count bowl games? And so if you counted Ty's bowl games, he'd have like 16,000
That's
passing yards.
nuts.
But 15,000 is insane. No one will ever touch that. No one will ever get close to that.
Shout out Ty Detmer. He was in my ward growing up. Pleasanton,
Hey.
California. Excellent guy.
Brother Detmer.
And Carter Cutting, 1,500 meter, 3 minutes, 35.95 seconds. So 1,500 is comparable to a mile. So imagine doing that in sub 4 minutes. I can hardly do a 6-minute mile.
I'm throwing up my pastaroni just thinking about it.
Michael Scott. Got a carbo load. And then AJ Dybantsa is 43 points against Utah. Was the freshman scoring record in a single game, but also the most points scored in a game at the Marriott Center.
Interesting.
Oh, I didn't know
So
that.
you guys were hyping that up. I was just down here shaving I'm so excited you guys did pick that. And Jimmer got the number one there, 43 points against Utah, freshman scoring record, and most points scored at the Marriott Center.
Wow.
And that was the blind ranking for you guys.
BYU's had some great athletes.
Yeah, I'm excited about this one. My favorite quote that I've heard, well, that's not my favorite. I've heard lots of. A quote that I've heard is, and his 49th record is the record for holding the most records. And that's talking about Jim McMahon. So that'll be fun. We're excited for next week. We're running out of time here. We want to make sure this is watchable for you guys, not too long. But Jackson, any parting words?
Thanks for watching. Thank you, Jimmer.
Yes, thank you.
Shout out AJ. Maybe we'll have you on someday.
Who knows? All right, everyone. Thanks again for watching. Like, follow, subscribe, retweet, repost, put it on your story, send it to friends. Do whatever you can. We're trying to build this. We really want to build this into a brand. So we're super appreciative of you all. Comment your lists. We want to hear who does Iowa State or Kansas State land at number one on your guys, or is it the main list? Is it Utah? We'll hear from you guys next week, and then tune in as we watch or as we rank the top 5 records at BYU next week. See you guys.